Hello, my name is John Donato. I'm a professor at Mass Bay Community College. Welcome to Critical Thinking. I've been teaching at Mass Bay for many years. This is my favorite class, teaching critical thinking. I also teach English, if you may have seen me in the hallways and know me from that. First thing, you need to be patient. We all need to be patient. We're in a special situation with the COVID pandemic, and we're all doing new things. I'm learning a ton of new things just to be able to put up videos even and do online classes. I teach online classes in the summer, but never 6 of them or 5 of them at once. So let's just try to be patient with each other. If there's some problems with the site on Blackboard or some questions you have, ask me, email me, and we can get it done. So let's just quickly go through some things here. If I have the site here, and I'll call up some things and just go over them. Normally, what we would do the first day would be completely go over the syllabus, and you'd be able to ask questions. But again, we're not in that kind of situation, so we have to make do. But I would say the first thing to do is obviously you got to this video, so you know to click on Start Here. And you'll notice that there are 2 quotes there. People see what they want to see, and then our friend Ralph Waldo Emerson sort of qualifies that. People only see what they are prepared to see. And I like those quotes just as a beginning because they kind of get at the essence of the course in many ways. The idea that we're going to deal with a lot of the problems we have with our thinking. You might think that you think perfectly fine. Most of us do. But there are many, many things that get in our way when we want to be critical thinkers. And a lot of the course is focused on identifying those problems, looking at their dynamics, trying to overcome them possibly. So that's why I put those 2 quotes there. We tend to think of ourselves a lot of times as rational agents, but a lot of times we're not quite so rational as we think we are. All right. I want to go over the syllabus just a bit here. You can certainly go over this more, read it more carefully. I'm going to try and do some WebEx hours. I'll post those and send those out to you for office hours. You certainly read the course descriptions. I put a little bit of my own description in there. It's a fairly old course, Critical Thinking at Mass Bay, so it's been around for a long time, and it changes based on who's teaching it, but the course description has some good things in it. We usually do a lot of small group work, which we will have to do less of, and we do a little bit less on argumentation and arguments than the description would suggest. There's some student learning outcomes there. You should read through those. There's also some first year success outcomes if you're in an FYS section, and some assumptions that I make about my students in my class. Basically that they want to be in college, they want to be in this class, they want to work hard in this class just like any other class, and that learning to be a critical thinker is actually possible. Some people think it's not. And finally, just this idea that we can change our minds. We can even improve our intelligence through hard work and mindset. We'll do a lot of reading, close reading, critical reading of texts. Usually we'll come in and discuss them in a class. This class will post on Blackboard on the discussion forums. But it's a fairly old way of doing things, but I think it's a good one, which is to read independently and then come back together with other people and discuss them. So that's an important aspect of the course. There's no textbook required for this course. You don't need to buy any books or anything. I will post everything you need and give you everything you need. The grading is fairly simple in terms of the parts. There are 2 exams, one midterm exam and a final exam project more than an exam. That midterm exam is sort of more conceptual, making sure that you can articulate some key concepts of the course, that kind of thing. The final exam project is much more of what we call an ill-structured problem, where you develop your own solution to a difficult problem. So those will be posted as well. The class participation and how you conduct yourself in the course will be mainly through the discussions, but also how you communicate, that kind of thing. There's an attendance policy even. One of the key things here is academic integrity and plagiarism. Because we're going to be submitting things online and writing more than we might in a normal class, that's something you should pay particular attention to. I have a whole section here on email etiquette. As a student, it would be a good idea if you could go over that and make sure that you follow that kind of etiquette when you communicate via email with professors in professional situations. A lot of times students have a very casual approach to email that isn't really appropriate for an academic setting and professional setting. I've listed some academic support services that are available to you, disability resources, things like that. So please, by all means, if you have an accommodation of some kind, let me know, and we'll certainly honor that. Other than that, you can go through the syllabus yourself, see what is there, and if you have any questions, please let me know. There's also posted a course calendar, which I've not connected to the syllabus, sort of as a separate document. You can print that out, and it's almost like a to-do list. It goes through week by week and section by section, all the things that you have to accomplish that week, and you can just check them off as you go. So I recommend that you print that out. There are a few things on there that won't be determined yet, in progress things later on. So again, be patient with that. But for the most part, everything will be on that document, and you can use that almost like a to-do list. I wanted to run through the weekly schedule, the parts of a weekly schedule, so that you have a sense of what the course is like. You can look through these yourself as well. And again, all the weeks are posted. So the week starts with an overview of the week, a brief description of what the week is about, a listing of the learning outcomes, what you should be able to do by the end of the week, that kind of thing. And then there's a folder called Reading, Viewing, Listening, and Learning, where I'll post short description items, articles, chapters from books, videos of lectures or other things that you're supposed to look at or read. There's assignments that can be in there, podcasts, all sorts of collection of different things for the week. So click on that. There is a folder called the fallacy files every week, where we'll have usually 2 fallacies for the week. They'll be named, they'll be described, and then most of the time they'll also have a video accompanying them to instruct you on those. So we'll go through a number of fallacies, explain what fallacies are, and go through some of the named fallacies. Each week there's also a folder on the final exam project. I'm going to give you that final exam right at the beginning of the course. It's something that is a course-long project that you should work on. But each week, something to do for that, keep you going. It's hard, actually, or difficult for students to spread that work out, and that's key to do well on that project. So there's a folder just for that. Usually not too much in there. Usually a video or some article that will maybe help you along the way. And then there's a cognitive bias of the week, where each week there's listed a cognitive bias and a description of it, and again, a video explaining it. Each week you'll post a response to a discussion question or prompt, and you will also respond to your classmates in the discussion forum. So you post your response, and then you read through some of your classmates' work, and you comment on theirs. And that give and take is really important in the class to help each other. I can only do so much, and a lot of times I won't have just the time. I have so many students that I won't have time to comment as much on individual posts, but you all should have some time to do that for each other. And then a preview for the next week, just telling you what's going to be happening. So that's for each week. That's basically going to be the breakdown. Mostly what we'll be doing in the course is looking at how things go wrong in our thinking, right? And just how flawed our thinking actually is. And the interesting thing is that we have to use that flawed mind, that flawed thinking, to improve our minds. So it's a tricky kind of game. And we'll see how much we can accomplish. And one of the reasons I think that the original course was designed was there is a critical habit of mind that professors wanted students to have and to develop. And oftentimes that's missing. And so the course is sort of designed to help you develop that critical attitude, that critical ability. And one of the other things that's sort of a semester-long project for us is just to define what is critical thinking. What do we mean when we use that term? It's a term I hear all the time, and a lot of times the people who are using it have a very shallow, not very robust understanding of what it means. But it's sort of become a buzzword and a buzz term, and people use it all the time. And we're going to read an early piece where the writer, Howard Gabinesh, talks about how it's in danger of losing its meaning because people mean it in so many different ways. But a lot of what we're going to be doing also is just, what is it? What does it entail? And we're going to try not to have it just be thought of as a skill, but have it more multidimensional. So again, my main point to you is if you have difficulties or if anything is confused, communicate. I tell my students that all the time. Communicate, and you'll be fine. If you wait until the end of the semester and you missed a lot of time and a lot of work, can I do extra? Too late then. So when you have a problem, communicate, and we should be fine. Welcome. I love this class. I love talking to students about critical thinking and thinking about problems and issues. So I hope you do too. And if you do, we'll have a great time.